Today is video number 12, and I have no idea what the topic is for video 12, so I'll just improvise. Today I'm going to jabber on about my art. One of the problems with an artist is, well, there's definitely more than one problem with artists, but one of my problems is that I forget to take pictures of my artwork when it's done. Usually I've given it away, I've sold it, I've had an auction or a raffle for it, and some way or another the artwork is gone, and then I say, oh, I should have taken pictures of that. Okay, Pablo Picasso said that every child has an artist inside of it. Well, I resisted that. Whenever I would do my artwork, whether it was a pencil sketch on the covering of a book, you know, in school we always had to put this butcher paper covering on our books. Well, I'd draw on it. After a while, the powers that be said, no, you can't draw on your covers. Lord knows why not. I mean, all the covers had to be butcher paper brown, is that it? Yeah, uniformity, I guess, you know. Anyway, our educational system is an entirely different story. Today I'm talking about art. Okay, so one of the things that I did throughout my life is I let other people make my decisions for me. Maybe you can learn a lesson from me. Excuse me. There are, you know, I made a big mistake by allowing those people to make decisions for me. I should have continued with that which really was meaningful to me. Not that what I did turned out to be bad, or I was unworthy, or I didn't do it well, because I did. Everything that I did well, and I succeeded at it. Well, I didn't succeed at everything, but most everything was done pretty well. One of the problems that I had was I turned into something that I didn't really like. I turned into somebody that I wasn't really happy with. There are a lot of what I call woo-woo people out there who tell you, follow your dream and the money will come. Well, that's a bunch of bull feathers as far as I'm concerned. You got to have something that allows you a good solid income before you can do what your dream really is. Now, maybe your dream is just making money, or maybe it's something that does make money, but for me it wasn't. My dream, who I am, is helping other people and doing art. Well, neither one of those makes much money. It was like in The Princess Bride when Inigo said, you know, there's not a lot of money in the revenge business. Well, there's not a lot of money in helping other people and in doing art. Especially when you do it the way I do. You give it away, or, yeah. Anyway, you got to have something that will bring in the resources that you need in order to do what you really want to do. And I do believe that internet marketing is the path that will allow us all to do that. So here's some of my artwork that I did manage to take some pictures of and to place it in front of a camera. So this, I'm going to use my little cheat sheet here and follow the pictures as I give them to you. This is a full body paint project that we did for a big party. We ended up using this picture as a logo for a restaurant bar in Baja Sur, hence the name Estrella del Mar. That By the way, that means starfish. Doing body art is something that I love to do because it's different and not very many people do it, and especially not very many people do it well. The next two pictures are something that I call the Dream of the Thunderbird. You can see that I had to go to the house of the person that bought this piece in order to take the pictures of it. So that was kind of an afterthought. It's a bas-relief work that combines a lifelike rendition of a bald eagle along with a Simpson-based artwork of the dream that the Thunderbird was having. Simpson, that's a nation that lives in British Columbia, Pacific Northwest tribe, and I love the artwork of all of the peoples of the native nations up in the Pacific Northwest. The next two pictures depict something that I truly love, and that is the great blue heron. There are a number of birds that I love, but the great blue heron ranks right up there among the best. The first picture is the carving in progress, and the second is a completed one on my mantle or a sidebar. And this picture was given away as a house gift, a housewarming gift for some friends who built a house in southern Iowa, and the wood was cypress. The eyes of the great blue heron were abalone shell, and the cattails were copper. I created it so that, because it was going to sit out on a porch, I created it so that a light breeze would come along, hit the copper, and actually it would chime softly. So it's a wood carving chime. So the next picture is a box that I created. I built this box myself from the get-go, and the lid is what's called intarsia. Intarsia is the use of different kinds of wood to create a pattern or a picture, and the different types of wood are used to represent the texture and the color of the picture. Every color that you see in here is natural wood. The red of the rose is a natural wood color. The brown of the border, that's natural wood. The green of the leaves, though not brilliant, is natural wood. I love creating things like this. The next two pictures are of another bird that I really love. This one is the red-tailed hawk. This one was carved in basswood, cedar, and oak. You use a different kind of woods for the different carving needs. The body of the bird didn't need to be hold a lot of detail, so it could be basswood. The feathers in the tail and in the wings, however, required great detail for all of the fine carvings that are a feather. And the base needed to be substantial, so that was oak. Actually, it's kind of ironic, but the mouse was carved first, and that is what made me think of carving the hawk. Okay, and the next one, some of you may differ with me on whether this is art or not, but I created these raised bed gardens for Peg's octogenarian mother. she certainly thinks that they're a work of art. They are 4 feet wide and 12 feet long, 3 feet high. They also have a let's see, a 2 by 12 as the lip around the entire top of the garden, which allows Mary to sit down and do her weeding or her harvesting. And it was both of those beds, as you can see, were filled with some pretty good manure, because those are some pretty spectacular vegetables in those gardens. The the manure that we used was 15-year-old horse manure that a local fellow who raises horses had and was willing to share with us. Let's see. There are quite a few pictures here of firearms. I went through a phase where I created a lot of firearms for raffles and for sales to benefit various nonprofit organizations. And the reason there are so many pictures is because we had to advertise them, and we were able to, I mean, obviously we had to take the pictures, so this way I got pictures of everything. The first one is a Ruger Single 6 in 17 HMR that and a scope on it. The second one is 17 HMR semi-auto with a red dot on it. The third picture is let's see, that is a 17 HM2 with a scope and a custom built stock that was made by Fajan. The next one is a this is a Springfield Armory Champion, which is a 45 auto with the 4-inch barrel, and it has it is basically stainless steel, and the grips are sterling silver. All the small parts are gold plated. The next picture is a Ruger SP101 in 357 Magnum. Same thing, stainless steel, sterling silver grips with all the small parts gold plated. Then is a Ruger Single 6 with, this one is blued with minimal engraving on it. Custom grip that I built for it, and it's in 41 Magnum. The next is a Ruger 22 Target Master. I custom built the grips on that one, fully engraved, stainless steel. So all of these, except the 41 mag, are stainless steel bodied. Everything is fully engraved. The Champion and the SP101 are probably, well, they're engraved to the utmost. This is the SP101. It's probably, you can see it's engraved more than most jewelry is. I wear that one right now, but I have given this one to Peggy. I'm building a case for it. I prefer the 45. The next three pictures are of knives that I've built. These also have fully engraved bolsters on it. For those who don't know, a bolster is the part that's between the blade and the handle. On a knife, the handle, the the pieces that cover the handle are called scales. So in the first one, the scales are made of turquoise, and I custom built those. In the second one, this was a gift for a friend it was a Christmas present for his father. His father had had a stroke and didn't have the use of one side of his body. So I had to custom make the knife to satisfy certain needs that he had. As you'll notice, the sheath has an extra long tab on it so that he could really get a hold of it and open the sheath up. And then this is what I call a button release. I built it with a spring inside of it so that when he pushed the button it would open the blade, and he could also push the button and release the blade when it was time to put it away. The scales on this one are made of 40 million year old petrified wood. Petrified wood is something I've gotten into recently, and it is fun to work with, very difficult to work with, but very rewarding. The next picture is a picture of a set of 4 knives that I made. These are folding knives also. These were made for an expedition that we did on the Pacific Crest Trail. There were 2 fellows who were hiking across the state of Oregon from the Oregon-California border to the Oregon-Washington border, 265 miles, and they did this in 21 days, I believe. But I built a set of knives to in recognition of the event. And as you can see, the bolsters are fully engraved. There is a different kind of wood for each knife. Each person's who received one of these, his name is engraved on it also. But each one of those woods is representative of a type of tree that grows indigenous to the Pacific Crest area. The next picture is this is a design that it's the layout for a black and white mosaic that I'm in the process of doing for Peggy. It'll be 3 foot by 2 foot when it's completed, and it is a picture of Peggy from an earlier part of her life that I particularly liked. I loved it when I did the high contrast, and it prompted me to do the mosaic of it. So I hope to be able to give that to her sometime toward the end of the year. Gee, maybe Christmas. And the next one is black and white artwork that was done by a Mexican artist that I'll be transforming into a black and white mosaic on the wall of a building in southern Baja California. The fellow was contracted by Espolón Tequila Company to make these drawings for them. They represent the heart of the Revolution. You can see in one of the drawings that Ramon, the rooster, is there. Ramon, if you remember anything about the Mexican Revolution, Ramon was the rooster who crowed to wake people up on the first day of the Revolution. And you can see riding on his back is Father Esposito, and he was one of the people who was very instrumental in helping the people get together and try to overthrow this tyrannical government that they had. And the final picture I leave you with is We find art anywhere. We do not cut live trees for Christmas trees. However, this tree was out in the woods and it was already dead. So I cut it, brought it up to the back porch, put lights on it, and we had a Christmas tree on the back porch. Hasta mañana, mi amigos.